my name is Maddie or Books with Maddie, and today I'm doing the end of the year reading survey. The end of the year reading survey is basically the equivalent to the mid-year book freakout tag, but at the end of the year. It's basically just wrapping up my reading year and things like that. This is going to be my final video of the year. Unfortunately though, I'm filming this on the 30th and I have 2 more books to read. Fortunately, I am like almost done with both of them. It is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, I think, and then One Day in December by Josie Silva. Those are kind of guesses, but those are, I mean, I don't think either of those will be like really like needed to accurately answer these questions, but just full disclaimer, there will be 2 more books added, and yeah, so I don't know. We're just going for it. So I'm going to be getting these questions from Books and Lala's video because she just did it, but she got these from a vlog. So I'm going to have everything necessary linked below. This feels really tall. Hang on. It's fine. I don't have my answers really planned out. We're literally looking at them for the first time right now. I actually found the original blog that posted the end of the year survey. It is Perpetual Page Turner, and I will have this linked in the description below. I'm literally racing daylight right now, so if it starts to get really dark in here, I apologize. But let's just hop right into it. So the number of books that I read this year, I read exactly 100 books, like as long as I can finish those 2 books for the end of the year, which I will do that. I will have read exactly 100 books. And then the next one is the number of rereads. I don't have that information. I reread 3 books this year, and if I had to guess, I know one of them was Take a Hint, Danny Brown, one of them was Getting a Life, Chloe Brown, and I don't know what the third one is, but I'm very curious. I was gonna like let this go and just be like, yeah, I don't know what the third one is, but now I kind of gotta know. Oh! Red, White, and Royal Blue was the last one. I also reread that. And the next question is the genre that I read the most from. And that would be romance, which like literally came out of nowhere. That has never been my top read genre literally ever. But I'm honestly like not surprised. I did the Goodreads challenge thingy where I tried to read all of the romance books that were being nominated. That definitely contributed to it, as well as I've just been in a huge romance mood this year. And I've been really getting into the genre more than ever, and so I found a whole new appreciation for that genre this year, so that does make sense that that was the top genre. I read 25 romances this year, and my second most read genre was classics, which makes sense because I'm an English major. Next question is the best book that I read in 2021. This is like kind of a spoiler, I guess, about what my favorite book of the year was, because I haven't made that video yet. Do I really want to say? I mean, I have an answer. I'm gonna keep this a secret so that you guys have initiative to watch my videos coming January 2022. Just a little shout out to myself. The first week of January of 2022 of every year, I always do 7 videos in a row. So the first week of January, you'll get a video every single day. One of those will be my top 10 books of 2021, and you will be able to see what my top book of the year was. Put your guesses though in the comments below. I decided what my favorite book of the year was at 2 a.m. last night, so I don't know that I 100% remember what that is off the top of my head, but stay tuned for that video. The first 7 days of January, wrapping up my 2021 reading more thoroughly than this, and then also letting you know what kind of reading I'll be doing in 2022. Very exciting content coming. Hope you enjoy. Next question. Book that you were excited about and thought you were going to love but didn't. I really wish more than anything that I was prepared for this video. Now that I'm looking through the books that I read, I actually have a couple answers for this. First, I would say Life's Work by Dr. Willie Parker. This is a book about the moral argument for choice. Dr. Willie Parker is an abortion doctor and also a Christian, and he kind of dissects the intersection between those two things and why he thinks that it is a more moral argument to argue for pro-choice. I was really excited to read this, and it just did not do, I feel like, the conversation justice. I gave it 3 stars, and I have a much more eloquent discussion about this in my wrap-up, where I wrap up this video. I'm sorry, I can't, of this book, I can't remember what video that is. If I find it, though, I will put it in the card. A lot of it was like a memoir on Dr. Willie Parker, and that's really not, I feel like, what people were reading it for. And then the last 2 are The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test. These 2 romances are like so hyped, and I liked the Kiss Quotient a lot. I gave it 4 stars, but then the Bride Test like totally fell flat for me. Both of them, I just like didn't connect as much to the characters as I wanted to. I loved the diversity in it and the representation for autism, and I really loved reading about that and becoming more educated about that, and I definitely will read more from Helen Hoang, and I do still want to read The Heart Principle, but something about them like just didn't really connect with me. I never really connected with the characters. I think it honestly was like the writing style just wasn't super for me, but I definitely do want to read more from Helen Hoang in the future to see if I can connect to some of her books a little bit more. Next is the book that you pushed the most people to read in 2021. I thought about this for a while when I was watching Lala's video because I was like trying in my head to come up with answers. I think it would have to be the Brown Sisters trilogy by Talia Hibbert, Get a Life Chloe Brown, Take a Hint Dani Brown, and Act Your Age Eve Brown. Even though I read these 2 last year, I was still pushing them a lot this year. This is my favorite romance trilogy or series or anything of all time. These books are amazing and life-changing. The way that Talia Hibbert writes diversity and disability is incredible. I highly recommend, if you haven't picked these up yet, to do so. These are some of the most diverse and well-written and just binge-worthy, amazing books I have ever read. All of them were 5 stars for me. These are literally amazing and I highly recommend. I know so many people who picked these up because of me, and that is my duty to like the community, is to contribute these books. I will literally carry these books until the day that I die. I love them so much. Okay. The best series that I started in 2021. Okay, I didn't start the Brown Sisters trilogy, so I can't say that. I didn't read a lot of series. Okay, I don't think I have an answer for this one. So I'll say something that doesn't necessarily feel 100% true, but it's what I'm saying. So, literally yesterday, I've been trying to read short books to finish up my reading goal. I read a book called All Systems Read by Martha Wells. You've probably heard of this series. It's called The Murderbot Diaries, and it is like short little books about this murderbot robot, half human, half robot character who is trying to find like his purpose in life and things like that, and it's just like very, very edgy. I don't know if that's the word I'm necessarily looking for, but it's just fun. It's just, I've only read the first one of the series, but I want to read more from it. It's just very cool to read. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, and I've been trying to read more female voices in sci-fi, and this was like the perfect place I feel like to start. I loved it. I only gave it 4 stars, but like I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I listened to it on an audiobook. The audiobook's literally only 3 hours, and I seriously loved it. I thought it was amazing, and so maybe that's the best series I started in 2021. I don't know. I didn't start a lot of series. Okay. And then best sequel that I read in 2021. Honestly, a sequel I'm going to say is any book in a series. And I'm going to say A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I absolutely loved that book so much. And I'll be talking about that one more particularly in the first 7 days of January. Does that count? I don't know. I'm going with it. And then lastly, the best series ender in 2021, which I'm just going to take this as the best series I read in 2021, which is 100% the Crow Prince series, The Folk of the Air, 100%. If you haven't read it yet, literally, go read it right now. Literally, what are you doing with your life if you haven't read that yet? Like, the hype is, like, real. Like, it's not a lie. It's so good. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I went into it, and I loved it. All of the books I gave 5... Wait, Queen of Nothing I might have given 4 stars. No, I don't think so. I think I gave all of them 5 stars. Literally... Hang on, I can hold them up. I always forget that I can hold things up. If you haven't read this series, I'm literally telling you right now to go read it. Like, actually, genuinely read it. You will love it. It's so freaking good. It's literally so good. Okay. Favorite new author you discovered in 2020? Holly Black? No. I'm gonna say Frederick Bachmann because I have recently read Anxious People and I loved it, and I loved it specifically because of the writing style, which means that I probably would like more from Frederick Bachmann because it's different from like when you read a book by an author and you like the subject material. I specifically was a huge fan of it because of the writing style. And I have 2 other Frederick Bachmann books. I have Beartown and A Man Called Uwe, and I just haven't gotten around to reading them yet, but now I really, really want to read those in 2022 because I think that I will be a huge fan of Frederick Bachmann once I give more of his books a chance. Okay, number 7. Best book from a genre you don't typically read / was out of your comfort zone. I could say again, All Systems Red by Martha Wells. That's the Murderbot one. Super out of my comfort zone, super a genre I don't usually read, and I absolutely loved it, but I've already used that, so I'm gonna pick a new one. Oh my gosh, I know the answer. Wait. 100% Laughing All the Way to the Mosque by Zarqa Nawaz. This is a memoir about a Muslim woman living in Canada and her journey of like being part of a group of people that is like heavily discriminated against, and it is fascinating. It is so good. I freaking love this book so much. It is so funny, and just the writing is just so good. I will talk about this book literally forever. I believe she's also coming out with a new book in 2022 that I'm like so excited for. Like, literally read this book. It is so freaking good. It is so funny. It is so educational. It is so accessible, and it is such a good commentary on racism, and like just in a very specifically religious and like Muslim centered racism. It is so good and so amazing, and it is so like fast-paced and readable and accessible if you're usually on a person who reads memoirs. Like, this one, like, top-notch, so good, so highly recommend. One of my favorites. Number 8 is most action-packed / thrilling / unputdownable book of the year. Okay, so I would say literally either A Court of Wings and Ruin or A Court of Silver Flames. Both of those, like, I never wanted to put them down because I just wanted to know what's happening next. I was obsessed with them, which is tragic and for so many reasons. But other than that, because I've already used one of those for an answer, I didn't read a lot of like mystery or thrillers, so like I can't really use one of those. I've already said this one, but literally The Wicked King by Holly Black. Could not put that book down. Same with The Cruel Prince. Same with The Queen of Nothing. All of those, like, I could not put down. I needed to know what was going to happen next. They were so good. Honestly, like, those are the ones. I know I've already said all of those before, but yeah, I can't think of another one that would accurately fit that category. So we're going with those. Okay, number 9. Book you read in 2020 that you will be most likely to reread next year. I'd probably say The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. I actually am obsessed with this book. I have no idea what just happened to me. I'm obsessed with this book, and I really want to reread it because it was just like so fun and amazing, and I loved it. This reading year was a bit of a flop for me. I think a lot of the books that I read not because they sounded interesting to me, but because I had to read them for school, or because like somebody else told me to read them, things like that, or I was reading them for a challenge. I think Ninth House is another one that I would like to reread, maybe before the second book comes out, whenever that is. Leave Bardugo! Hey, Leave Bardugo! Write the second book, please! Next is favorite cover of a book that you read in 2021. I don't know the answer. I have 2 answers for you. The first is Plain Bait Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. I do not have this book physically, so I'll put a picture here, but I'm actually obsessed with this cover, and it's the only reason that I requested an ARC for that book and got it, is because I was obsessed with that cover. The other one is the short story collection Pawn by Claire Louise Bennett. This cover is literally everything. It's so pretty, and I love this font as well. Ooh, okay, most memorable character of 2021. Easy! Jude from The Cruel Prince is my new favorite character of all time. I'm obsessed with her. I'm obsessed with her. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm obsessed with Jude from The Cruel Prince. So, like, literally no other character even came close. Jude. Okay, next. Most beautifully written book. Okay. Anxious People by Frederick Bachmann, answer number 1. Also, And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. Amazing book for being literally about whales. And then lastly, I would say What Kind of Woman by Kate Bear. This is a poetry book. I'll put it here because I read it as an ebook from my library. I don't read a ton of poetry because I usually hate it. If I do read poetry, it's usually like not modern poetry because I have a huge problem with modern poetry, and I just hate Instagram poetry and everything of the sort. But this collection I read because it sounded like the description of it, it's talking about like all of the different kinds of way. My dog is so cute right now. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I had to take a picture of my dog. I'll put it here because it's so cute. What was I even talking about? Oh, most beautifully. Okay, we're talking about the poetry book. I'm gonna read you actually my favorite line from this book because it was so profound? I don't know. One of those words applies to this. Literally so good. This is like literally one of the first poems in the book was, and this isn't even the full part, this is just like an excerpt from it that I actually loved. When you emerge with crystals in one hand, revenge in the other, remember the humble barn swallow who returns in spring, if not for her markings, another bird entirely. Like, wow! And then the other one, I'm reading another one for you too, called To Take Back a Life. First you must learn desire, hold its fruit in your hands, unmarry it from the hunger to be held, to be wanted, to be called from the streets like the family dog. You are not a good girl, you are not somebody's otherness. This is not a dress rehearsal before a better kind of life. Pick up your heavy burdens and leave them at the gate. I will hold the door for you. Every woman should be required to read this. That feels oppressive. Every woman should read this. It was so good. I gave it 4 stars, which is a very high rating for poetry from me. Okay, next. Most thought-provoking / life-changing book of 2020. I would say either, oh, I'm gonna hold up the books because I can. Okay, I have 2 that are like definite for this. It is either Anxious People by Frederick Bachmann or The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Both of these like absolutely changed my life and just the way that I perceive life like as a whole, like genuinely changed my outlook on life. I just highly, highly recommend both of them. Okay, this is a lot of questions. 14. How many questions are there? There's so many questions. Okay, we're going too slow. We gotta speed up. Holy crap. Okay, I might not do every question. Okay, 14, book you can't believe you waited until 2021 to read. I would definitely say The Cruel Prince, Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. I did not think I was ever gonna like these books, and so I kind of kept putting them off, and I was obsessed with them, and I can't believe it took me so long to read them because I kind of missed the hype. Okay, next, favorite passage or quote from a book you read in 2020. Okay, I definitely have an answer to this. I have to look on my phone. Keep going. Absolutely keep going. It's not like daylight is fading or anything. Just keep, yeah. There's nothing happening outside, by the way, if you're wondering. He's not protecting me for anything. There's nothing happening outside. Anything else to say? Yep, okay. Yeah. You done? Okay. I was saying, I've had the privilege to read from so many amazing and talented authors this year that I have been keeping track of notes since, like, of quotes from the beginning of the year, and it was really hard for me to pick one, but one book that I do really want to be able to shout out this year is The Illness Lesson by Claire Beams. This is an amazing and profound book. I did only give it 3 stars because I thought it was lacking in a few areas, but really genuinely profound things happening in this book. And one of the best quotes of the year came from this book, and it said, it was from like the very end of the book. It was, she felt suddenly sure that in spite of everything hers was a strong body, that if she asked it to, it could take her great distances, relearn its shape as many times as necessary. And I just thought that was a really good quote, and I really loved it. Okay, moving on swiftly, the shortest and longest book that I read in 2021. I will have to look on Goodreads. The shortest book that I read was Death and the King's Horseman by Willie Shoinka. That is a short, like, play situation, and there's only 80 pages, and the longest I read was A Court of Silver Flames, which is 757 pages. The book that shocked me most this year is 100% The End of the Wicked King. I know I've already said that book so many times, but genuinely that is just the answer. Like, that, the end of that book shook me to my core. Like, absolutely the end of that book. Okay, OTP of the year is One True Pairing, so like your favorite couple of the year. How do I not say Jude and Carden? No, it's not Jude and Carden. It's freaking Nesta and Cassian. Literally, Nesta and Cassian. That's it. Period. Nesta and Cassian. From A Court of Thorns and Roses. Favorite non-romantic relationship of the year. Okay, I think it could be, I don't know this for certain, but the relationship between Bathsheba and Demetrius, I believe his name was. Bathsheba is a whale and Demetrius is a human, and it's just a very profoundly metaphorical relationship, and it's very fascinating. Highly recommend this book. Very short, very interesting, very deep. I'm about to rapid fire the rest of these questions. Okay, favorite book you read in 2020 from an author you've read previously. I'm going to say The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I'm really not thinking right now, but that's probably definitely a solid answer for me. I absolutely love Christina Lauren, and Soulmate Equation is one of my favorite books of the year. Best book you read in 2020 that you read based solely on a recommendation from somebody else, peer pressure, bookstagram. Okay, dog has been removed from the premises. He's outside now, so we're gonna rapid fire these. Okay, what was the question? Book that you read solely on a recommendation from somebody else. I have a great answer for this one. Both Annihilation and The Wrath from the Dawn I read this year based on the 12 books, 12 friends situation that goes around, where at the beginning of the year you get 12 book recommendations from 12 friends and you're supposed to read those books. These are the only two that I read from the list of 12 books that I was supposed to read this year, but I loved both of them. I think I gave both of them 4 stars, and I thought they were just really, really well written books, and both very unique in very different ways. And so yeah, I mean, that might not be the best one, but those are some 2 big shout outs that I wanted to recognize. Yeah, so I'm trying to recommend different books now. Best 2020 debut. Oh, I'm gonna say The Love Hypothesis by Ellie, Hazelwood, or The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armaz. Both of those were debut novels, and I loved both of them so much. Best world building, most vivid setting. The Cruel Prince. I didn't read a ton of fantasy this year, which is the problem, but I mean, that was just so vivid to me and I loved it so much. I have to say The Cruel Prince. Book that put a smile on your face was the most fun to read. I think I will say It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This is a romance novel. I absolutely loved it. It was kind of themed after Schitt's Creek, and just like such pure vibes. So cute, so endearing, so much fun. Banter was amazing, and I absolutely loved it. The book that made you cry. Okay, I honestly did not cry a lot from books in 2021. But The Jungle by Upton Sinclair is one that really, really got to me, which is weird because it's like a very unfeeling novel and is purely based on like naturalism, which is like just down to the details, no emotion. But I think it was those like really gritty details of the meatpacking industry of Chicago that really got to me, and how much the family in that novel suffered from it. So that one like really, really got to me. Okay, 27 is Hidden Gem of the Year. Oh, I think a hidden gem is The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. I feel like a lot of times bigger titles like The Unhoneymooners and Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating get attributed to Christina Lauren, but they have a novel that came out in 2020 called The Honey Don't List, and I recently read it like a couple days ago, and it was really, really cute and really good, and I really loved it, and I wish more people would read it because I think a lot of people would enjoy it. I would also say We Are the Fire, We Are the Ashes by We Are the Fire by Joy McCullough, which is an amazing mix of historical fiction and YA contemporary. It was amazing, like so moving, lots of commentary on rape culture and things like that, and I so highly recommend it. It was phenomenal and just so moving and so incredible, and I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, and you should read it. Most unique book I read in 2021, I would say probably We Are the Fire, We Are the Ashes, We Are the Fire. I say it backwards every time. I also read Illuminate this year, which obviously is a very unique book. If you're unfamiliar, where literally is it? Okay, I can't get it out because it's really tightly packed in there, but it's all multimedia books, which means there's lots of different forms of reading inside of it. There's lots of pictures, there's diagrams. It's very, very fun to read. That one was really unique. Book that made me the most mad. This is the final question. There's more questions about like looking ahead and stuff, but I'm gonna have more videos in 2022 that are about that, so I'm not gonna answer those in this video. But the book that made me the most mad, which is a weird question to end on, but it's fine, is probably For the Love of Men by Liz Plank. This is a book about mindful masculinity and all about how patriarchy and toxic masculinity harm men in similar ways that they harm women. I came up with so many solutions, so many statistics, so many facts about how patriarchy and toxic masculinity are so horrible for so many people, and we're just in such a stagnant place, I feel, right now in the like masculine culture. I feel like feminism, we got it covered, like we're good, and now we just like need to bring the men on board because they're the ones who can actually change anything, because they're the ones that need to be changed. And that book just made me mad. Like not that I didn't like the book, I thought the book was incredible, but it made me mad to see how many men and how stagnant we are in our views of masculinity and just how much we need to change and we're looking at the wrong things, and it grinded my gears a little bit to see that. Other than that, that is the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the week-long content thing that I'm doing in January. We'll have lots of fun content then, so I really hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for all of your support in 2021, and I will see you in 2022. Have a great day, have a great... What do I usually say? I hope you have a great day, I hope you have a great year, and I hope you have a great week? I hope you have a great day, I hope you have a great week, and I hope you have a great life? Is that what I say? I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye!